Guess what? Guess who? Guess who showed up tonight all of a sudden? You know why I showed up? Because there's something I want to talk about. Um, this is a Wednesday. We do talk, tell it Tuesday, and topic Thursday. But I don't know, maybe I'll just call this Wicked Wednesday because what I'm talking about is going to be something that's just really going to piss everybody off. Hey, what's going on? Surprise! I'm here. Huh? Hola. Yeah, honey, we're going to call this Wicked Wednesday because this is just something I'm telling you. Where's my notes? Oh, wait, first, let me get my. Yes, this is a bonus because I started reading some stuff this morning and I got so pissed. And then I started thinking about some stuff that I read in the news, news and stuff people have posted online, even on this channel. So I'm gonna be talking about the wickedness of these men. Yes, honey, get you a drink, a strong one, because this is gonna be something that some people might find. Yeah, walk out, walk out on these dudes. That's true. What's up? Well, this is God, I have like a fuzz on my lip or something. Um the rage, I mean the stories that women share about how men treat them when they say no, when they don't do what men want them to do, when they the woman has an agenda that is not in line with what the man's agenda is. These guys go nuts. I mean, and it doesn't have to be anyone that you're dating either or married to. These can be complete strangers, someone you go to school with, someone that you met casually that lives in your neighborhood, that you work with. I mean, all kind of stuff. These men are out of their rabbit ass minds. I don't, and it's like the more I read, the more I was just deeply, deeply disturbed at of what he got mad when I told him not to touch me. Psh, and you work with him? Yeah. Well, see, that's a call to HR right there because they're not putting his hands on you. Anyway, my recommendation is that all women immediately get them a stun gun or some pepper spray or something and learn how to use your pepper spray. Don't be going like a mile away and just spraying it and the wind blows it back in your face. That's dumb. Take a class and learn how to use it if you're going to get it. Don't just buy it and just be doing stupid stuff. But these dudes are crazy. You've got to learn and you got to be more protective of yourself. This is one thing when I was reading all the stories. Well, thank you. I don't do nothing with it. My cousin does it. What I noticed is that a lot, especially the young women, because they were raised to think that men are special and privileged beings that they, need to please and all this old stuff, which we're going to be talking about tomorrow. They get themselves unwillingly and naively into a trap. And the street smarts aren't there yet. A lot of these girls are like high school and college age, and it's just not there yet. So we got to work on this. Some of these men have been pepper sprayed so much. Well, I don't know about that, but that's why I said stun. Ain't nobody been stun gunned proof. So, but these guys there's something wrong with them. So let me move this to the side because I still want to be able to see the chat like us as usual. Oops, did it again. Um, and I want, I made my little notes. I was typing because I was having um, this is not my usual thing, so this was kind of a last minute thing. But I made notes so that I could, keep an outline and keep um myself on track. But basically it starts with we often talk about the history of women in the world from the sharks the Salem witch trials to how women were burned at the stake, how women weren't allowed to do anything. In the Middle East, how they have to wear these burqas even though it's 100 degrees. They can't go out the house unless some man is with them. They have child brides or little girls. I mean, they still playing with dolls and something like they're somebody's wife. I mean, all kind of things are happening around the world where the value of women is less. I mean, even I hate to put it in perspective, but even in China, like with the one child rule, everybody want to have a son. So girls had no value to these people, so they would abort them, or throw them away to an orphanage or something like that. Of course, now they're wondering, their sons can't get a wife and they can't get any grandchildren, so their business is gonna go belly up because they don't have any descendants to leave them to. But it was very short-sighted thinking on their part. And in some countries in the Middle East where they practice this kind of thing and women are killed regularly, there's as many as 40 men to each one woman. So it's like the killing of women worldwide is just, they just have like no caring about what happens to us, like we're just nothing. So what you want to have is understanding. Okay, so you start looking into, why are men like this? And there's a lot of theories I saw. Sociologists are saying that it's because men have a high level of testosterone, and that makes them aggressive, that makes them power hungry, and so they want to take the high status positions in society. And so by default, women, get what's left, which is nothing. And so I thought, okay, well, that might be, but what about in societies where men have just as much testosterone, and they honor and respect women? So I don't think that's the thing. I think it's the socialization of a lot of these religions, including the Muslim religion and including the Christian religion, because those Bibles and those Qurans are full of shit when it comes to how you treat, to treat women. And the idea that that women are second class to men, see, that is the beginning, that plants the seed for how they're going to treat you, because they don't view you as being on their level. You're not as worthy as them, you don't have as much value as them, you're not as important to them, you're barely human. Okay, so um let me scroll down, because I mean, I don't know why I made so many notes, because I know I'm not going to be reading all this stuff. I got carried away. So this idea of mistreating women, this has been going on for, thousands of years. It's nothing new. I think what's making it even worse for us today, though, is the fact that we have social media and instant communications. Because before, something that happened on the other side of the world, we might not have heard about it. Now it's on YouTube News, Yahoo News. You can find it on Google within a matter of minutes of it happening. So we have a lot more information about this kinds of things than we were ever able to have before. I think that's part of it. Is being, we know about it now, so it seems like it's happening more often, but I doubt that it's happening more often. I think that we just are getting wind of it now, whereas before we didn't. We only knew what happened in our, municipality. And so our view of what was going on around the world was very limited, if we had any view at all. So let's talk about some of these things, these ways that men view women as property. And we've all experienced this kind of thing. Okay, so you out with your girls, right? And you at a bar or something, and y'all drinking, and it's like 4 or 5 of y'all, and you talk, okay, just by yourself, no men in sight. Here comes some dude, right? Or a dude and his friend, and they just go interject themselves into your space, into your conversation, into your circle where you're having a good time with your female friends. But because y'all are cute, and they want to know if you're single, and they trying to get at you, here they come. So you talk, giving us short answers. I mean, you in a public place, you want to be polite. They say, "Oh, hello, ladies. Are you having a good time?" Most women are going to say, "Yes, thank you for asking," something like that. Okay, but that's not it. Okay, she turns back to her friends, and she's not paying him no mind. Do you think they get the fucking hint? No, here they go. Because you just made the mistake of saying hello to them, just being, social, just being a polite person, just being cordial. This doesn't mean you want to get at him. It don't mean you want to go home with him. It don't mean you want his number. It means none of that. But this is how they take it. Okay, so she's like, I'm just here, with my friends, or we just hear the girls. Okay, she's putting information out there that's meant to let him know you ain't invited. You're not part of this group. We don't want you here. okay? But they don't take the hint. So then here they come, you know, he want to ask you a bunch of questions. Oh, well, where, how you doing? And, what's your name? And, he keeps interjecting himself. And it's like, dude, get lost. I mean, it's like nobody's trying to talk to you. See, this is me in a situation like that. I just be like, you know what? We was having a good time by ourselves. We would like to continue to have a good time by ourselves. Would you please leave? We're not interested in talking to you. That's me. But, most women are more polite than me, so they would kind of, give him this tense smile and, like give him the short answers, but they're gonna keep answering. I just stop look answer. I just look at them like, are you that stupid that you don't get what nobody want to be bothered with your funky ass? You just gonna stay here bothering people? You're bothering us. Go the fuck away. Just go away. But they don't get it. So most women will say, they have to pull out the my husband, my boyfriend card. And for some reason, even in Nignog land, that tends to work more often than not. Although there are those deep ones deep in the Nignoggery who will just say, well, what's that got to do with me? Can't you have a friend? They don't even take that as a hint. So you can't necessarily, um, use that as a reason because they just don't want to get it. They can't handle rejection, which this, as you know, this I like to do things in sequential order. This is part one. So we will end with the stuff on the surveys and stuff. Um Nignog land. Yes, honey. That's where all the little nignogs go to play. So, I think most of us women have had this kind of situation happen to us. You could be on the bus, like commuting for work or on the train, you're reading papers, you on your laptop, you're on your phone, you had, sending emails to people, instructing people to do stuff and get it ready for when you get in the office, you can sign it, whatever. And then here comes some nignog want to sit next to you and strike up some inane conversation that ain't about nothing. It's like, motherfucker, don't you see that I'm busy? I don't have time to talk to you. I don't care what you're talking about. Go away with your garlic breath. And they just, just be all in your face, still talking down. And it's like, why did they do that? And it's even to the point where, they walk up to you and tell you to smile. Okay. They do that at work. They do that on the street. All of these things, ladies, I keep reiterating this. Every single thing that men do and say is about gaining control of you. And I don't know how, so many women don't get it. They want to own you and they want to control you. And it's like this deep just psychopathic need that these men have. They can't stand for a woman to be free and to be decisive and to have power and direction herself and to be intelligent and articulate and to have boundaries. Oh, they can't stand that. Can't fucking stand it. It's like you are the antithesis of everything that is female in their minds. And when you don't do what they want and you don't behave in the way that they want you to, you become every kind of bitch, hoe, this and that. You're a lesbian. You are every name that they can think of to denigrate you, to try to put you down, to make you feel small, to make you think that you all that ain't all that. It's all about getting control. Because see, a woman who is beaten down, and a woman who loses her confidence and damn it, her self-esteem is impacted. She thinks less of herself. She's gonna be more vulnerable to his bullshit. So he gonna come along talking all kind of crazy to her, and she's gonna be like, oh, you can see the women like that. They visibly shrink. They round their shoulders and they get a posture like this. They're facing down. They don't have the light in their eyes is gone. Their shoulders aren't so up high. They don't look people in the eye. They don't tell people fuck you and none of that kind of stuff. And that's the kind of woman that they want. Even though they'll see somebody who's strong, it becomes their goal to break her down, to just break you down. That's what they want. And it makes them feel so fucking powerful. So they, feel like if you feel like you are something and you don't need them, oh boy, it's on then. Because they have this really strong sense of entitlement. And just, to interject yourselves in your life, like I talked about at the club and stuff, that's all entitlement. Who does that? You know what I mean? You just walk into, you don't know this women could be having a business meeting and you come over there talking your crazy shit, trying to pick somebody up and get some booty. Just because they're there, that doesn't mean that they're doing something that's important to them that you don't need to be a part of. Back your ass up and go somewhere. Oh my God, these dudes drive me crazy. They drive me absolutely nuts. So let me go over. I'm going to share with you some of the stories that I heard from women. Okay. These they're kind of upsetting, so I'm just bracing. Some people might be slightly triggered or something, but try to bear with me. Okay. This girl tells a story about how a guy tried to hold her hostage. And she says, I dated an emotionally abusive and manipulative guy for 6 months before I ended things for good. The only reason I did it in person was because my cat was in his apartment. Shit, I would have got a new cat. He blocked the doorway to his apartment and wouldn't let me leave. I threatened to break his window open and he finally moved away, but not before following me down to my car and trying to keep the door from being open. When I finally got home, I got a call from my now ex best friend. He was at my ex's apartment because my ex called him and threatened suicide if I didn't come back. Okay, so now there's two guys, this alleged best friend and the ex at a part trying to call her back to this apartment where the guy just tried to keep her hostage. Okay. So the girl was smart enough not to do that. And she told her friend to call the police and hung up. My friend ended up taking my ex's side. I cut off all contact with them both and thankfully have not heard from them since. See, that was a setup. That was a setup. And luckily, she was so smart that she had the strength to say no. And she had the strength to threaten him to get up out of there. And she also had the strength to cut them both loose. That is necessary. And a lot of women, you guys, I have a video on here about being too nice to men. Exactly. Fuck that cat. And it's like, you could go to any pound. It's like all kind of cats, all colors, all ages. You just get you another one. They all pretty much the same to me. So it's like, I would never recommend that a woman place herself because she went there by herself with somebody who, was in an emotionally abusive and manipulative relationship. She should have never gone there by herself. So see, some of these things, women make silly decisions. You feeling brave or something. I don't know what's going on, but she should have rolled up in there with a police officer by her side, collected her cat, and then walked out. Dude would have been in check. He wasn't going to get froggy with the police officer with a gun or a taser because his ass would have been dropped. He would have respectfully given the girl her cat and shut his fucking mouth. So, these are kind of things that are available to you, lady. You could like call up the Fruit of Islam, them brothers with them bow ties and them buff arms, and say, I need to hire you for an hour while I go there and get my cat and stuff. And so, give him $100 or whatever it is, get your little cat, and then what's he gonna do? He gonna look at that ball, that band, and he gonna be like, nothing. He's not gonna say shit. Yeah. I'm glad she didn't go back too. You know, I'm like, shit, fuck a cat. You can have that cat. The only thing she probably was afraid of is that, see, this is the other thing that they try to control you, is they threaten to hurt things that they know are precious to you, and sometimes they kill them. So he would have probably killed her cat and brought it and put it on her doorstep or something. They killed their own kids to get at the mother. So I would not doubt that somebody who's emotionally abusive and manipulative would think he could get back at her by killing her cat. I would have no doubt about that. So then here's another one. Um, this girl says this guy left her with a permanent distrust of people who don't respect others. She was with this guy for several months. He was a very passive person, didn't have any temper or anything particularly wrong with his personality other than a total lack of ability to respect people. Okay, if he's not respecting other people, please explain to me how you think he's going to respect you. See, these are the kind of things I'm saying. When you guys recognize this stuff, don't ignore it. You have a man who doesn't respect other people. Trust me, he's not going to respect you either. You cannot think that you're going to be the only one. You have some kind of magical loophole or something. He's a disrespectful little punk. So he's going to be disrespectful to everybody. He probably disrespects himself. So I mean, it's the kind of thing you guys have got to pay attention to, the red flags. Stop ignoring them. Stop thinking, well, but we love each other. It's gonna be all right because we love each other. Love can change him. He's gonna change. No, he's not. If he changes, then you get with him. But don't be thinking that your love is some magic potion. Your coochie's so special. It's not gonna do shit. You're just gonna end up with your teeth all busted out and your face all fucked up, or you possibly in a morgue. You know what I mean? You can't be dealing with these clowns like this. Soon as they show you who they are, believe what you see, believe what you hear, and get away from them. It's bad enough when the women do that and the dudes still stalk them and try to, make them be with them. So you got somebody who, he showed you and you stay with him anyway, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my God, it didn't even, it don't start out great. Well, sometimes it does because they're sociopaths. I'll be going into that in a minute. So anyway, he was a passive person, right? But she just chalked it up to him being immature. Okay, so what? He's immature. So I mean, either he's disrespectful or immature. Why do you want to be with him either way? See, I'm not understanding this. The decision making here was very questionable. This is what I be trying to teach young women before they head off to college and be trying to date in high school and stuff. These are the realities that you need to understand what you're seeing here. Okay. So, but she says, but I never really expected what happened to happen. Okay. So after breaking up with him a couple of months, they were, kind of hang out here and there because, she thought they was going to have a friendship. See, Deb's next advice, never be friends with an ex. You cannot be friends with an ex. The only way you can be friendly with an ex is if you two have children together. But he's still not your friend. You're going to be friendly and respectful because of your children. But any man you have no kids with, you have no ties with, dump him completely, no contact. Block him on every possible means. You ain't his friend. If you guys were friends, he wouldn't have treated you the way that he did, and you guys would still be together. You're not his friend. Get that through your head. It's like, oh my God, what do you guys be doing? So then she says, one night he showed up. I didn't really want to see him, but he showed up. I invited him in and he told me where he had been and what was going on because we hadn't talked in a month. Okay. Eventually we ended up talking about a relationship. And then he started to make an advance on me, but I turned him down. I said I didn't want to. Then he started getting really pushy and begged me with please and just this once. I denied him each time. Okay. Why is he still there? See, this is when you get your butcher knife that's this long and you say, get the fuck out of my house. And don't you ever come back here. If you do, I'm calling the cops. Okay. I'm going to go and file harassment and stalking charges on him. But see, she's still trying to be nice. Because this behavior commonly exhibited by men I've been with, and this is the sad part here, and I have been with quite a few, I didn't really think much of it. It was just another typical male thing, and thank rape culture for that. I might note here that we were sitting side by side, shoulder to shoulder, and it didn't really even escalate. He was just on me, yanking me into the cushions and holding my arms down before I even knew what was happening. I'm a tiny person, so it was easy for him to hold both with one hand. I started to panic and tell him no, stop repeatedly, but he was, getting her clothes off and all of this, and then he forced himself on her. And she said she was felt helpless and she was able to do something, and she was shocked and she was scared, and she couldn't believe what was really happening, and she begged him to stop, but he quickly finished and then he left. Okay. See, now you got to die. Motherfucker, you got to die. I don't care. I will run you over with my car. That's my favorite method of taking out nignogs. Just car you. I'm a car you. So then she says that after that I stopped being at home alone. I was careful about going anywhere alone. I started to invite my protective friends to my side who were the type to beat a guy's face in just for sexually harassing a girl against her will. I like those kind of dudes. And the dude that attacked her left town not too long after that happened. He was probably scared. The only thing I learned is that if a guy doesn't respect you or doesn't respect you enough to listen to you the first time you say no, he isn't going to respect you the 50th or the 100th time either. He will ask again and again until he gets what he wants. Eventually, there will come a time when he won't even respect you enough to even give you the choice. And she concludes by saying, the really scary thing about the rape culture is that it just doesn't affect the way men look at women. It affects the way women look at men. It makes you trusting, desensitized of mistreatment directed towards you, such as in this case, disrespect of choice and something completely normal and acceptable behavior without you even realizing it. And that is very true. And not only does it make you, a problem with how women see men and how men see women, the main problem that I see is how women see themselves. And It's that thing that you have to please men, that you have to do what men want, that you have to make sure that likes you, that you're friendly and quote nice and all this stuff. That is the problem for women, because you get yourselves in, a situation where you're over giving and you have no boundaries. And see, the boundary here for her would have been, you never see this guy again. If he shows up at your house, he's just outside your house. I mean, okay, you stay there till hell freezes over. I didn't invite you to my house, so you not getting in. See, these kind of, you don't go meet them. You're broken up. Okay, there's nothing to talk about. They want to talk about it. No, we're not talking about it. I don't really care to talk about it. I don't want to see you, and we're not having any words about some shit that's over and done with. You need to learn how to move on and just close doors and just go on about your business. I'm done. It's over. Okay, and they just don't get it. Yeah, nice is some bullshit. I'll tell you that right now. I don't even have nice in my vocabulary. It's just, I'm just never nice. Yeah, I guess that maybe I might be sweet to some teenage girls, little girls and stuff, little kids. But to men, please. I just as soon call you a motherfucker as by I call you by your name. So that's just me though. You don't have to be like me. Yeah, I mean, what's getting okay, then look at being nice. What does it get you? Does it bring you more money in your bank account? Does it make you look prettier? Does it do your hair for you? Like, I hate doing my hair. That's what my hair's been like. This is going to stay like this probably to the day I die. I don't like combing my hair. A hot, what you call them? Hair blower and them hot curling irons and all that old stuff. I don't want to be bothered with all that. Sitting under a dryer with rollers in my hair, sleeping with rollers, puncturing my scalp. I'm done with all of that. I'm not doing any of that anymore for the rest of my life. I'm not going to do it. So, I'm like, I never could see what's the benefit to women for being nice. Where does that bring you anything? I mean, I'm looking for a payoff. I ain't seeing no more money for being the women who's nice have just a way more fucked up experience than I do, and I'm a bitch. Tell you, my car is a broom. I said that before. People laugh and they think I'm joking. I'm like, I'm very evil to men. I'm very evil. So it's like, you better come correct. You better come with your shit straight. Don't say nothing to me that's going to make me give you the side or question you or look at you crazy or have to cuss you out. Any of that, because it's done. It's a wrap. I'm done. To get out. Don't call me. Forget you know me, or, preferably die. That was my preference. Anyway, so here's another one. He felt slighted by my rejection, she says. It was the summer before my junior year in high school. Okay, so what's junior? What's freshman, sophomore, junior? Okay, so she was probably what, 15, 16 when this happened, maybe? I was at a local community college to take a college calculus course. She's smart. I had been in the course for a couple of weeks and had already dealt with random approaches from men 10 to 15 years older than me. While waiting for my mom to arrive from work, I stood outside of the campus alone. It was around 2 p.m. Keep in mind, this is Texas and it was particularly hot that day. I mean, in the hundreds. So I was wearing high waisted shorts and a sleeveless top. Two men who looked to be in their early 20s called out to me, asking me to come over to their car. I gave them a subtle no thank you, as I usually do not try to spark anything. One of the men began to barrage me with things like, "You think you're too good for me," and similar comments. I moved to retrieve my headphones from my bag to drown them out, but the insults kept coming. This is a kid, okay? 16, 15, whatever she is. She's a child, okay? Things like, "You fucking bitch," and now infamous in my mind. "If you didn't want me to try and talk to you, you shouldn't have dressed like a slut." By this point, I was more than upset because clearly shrugging them off wasn't an effective tactic. I thought to myself, if I could just hold on for a bit longer till my mom gets here, I'll be fine. That was until the final insult. "Your mama could have combed that nappy ass hair this morning," referring to my natural hair that was a little messy from me trying to rush to get to class on time. It was the final straw. I yelled back at him to fuck off and that I wasn't interested in him and would be surprised if anyone was the way he acted, with some other rather colorful language. My retaliation was met by him asking, "The fuck you just say to me?" and approaching me with his friend. I was terrified, but thought if I put on a tough enough act, I'd be all right. Miraculously, before he got too close, my mom pulled up and I rushed into the car. The pair gave up on confronting me when they saw her and went about their business. It still amazes me that they were bold enough to confront me like that in broad daylight. But what's even more shocking is that not one person who witnessed it attempted to intervene. I finished the course, but now I refuse to go back for anything else. Okay, this is a little girl, 16-year-old. Okay, now this is the other thing because I keep hearing this story too. If you're supposed to pick your daughter up, be there early. Be there early. Don't have your girl standing around waiting for you, giving nignogs the opportunity to act a fool. So, these mothers, the fathers, whoever's supposed to pick up these young girls, get your ass there early. Be waiting. So when she comes out of class, she gets right in the car and you drive off. You know what I mean? This keeps happening where the girls are waiting for someone to pick them up and they're alone after they're supposed to be because class is letting out, right? So everybody's either going back into the building or they're leaving. That's leaving your daughter there by herself. You guys got to be more cognizant of that. Whatever the fuck you was doing that made you feel like made you late, you need to get there earlier. Drop that. Go back and do that later. Pick your daughters up. Get them off the streets and protect them away from these knuckleheads. So, this girl, my mother knows when her class was. There's no excuse for you to be late. You know when the class ends? Come on now. See, this kind of shit pisses me off. So they just put them, you just unnecessarily putting your daughters at risk by being all casual about picking them up. Get your ass there early. Yeah, see, no, that's bullshit. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, we moved out of Oakland because we're all this condo building. I was renting this condo in a very nice building in a part of Oakland. But what happened was some people bought they bought the floor, like a whole floor underneath me. I was on the third floor and they bought like the first and second floor. They bought all the units, right? These real estate investors. So they bought all those units on the first, and then they converted them into Section 8 units in this high rent ass beautiful building. I was like, what? So they started moving in just like, oh my God. You just hate to talk about people, but I have to say there's niggas and there's black people. They moved in some niggas. And so these women was like, had all these different dudes running in and out. These dudes, the ones that smell like weed and got their hair in cornrows and shit, niggas there all time of day. So they don't have no job and this kind of stuff. I'm like, oh my God, we need to move. And so, I really hated it though because this place was huge and it was beautiful, had a beautiful view, because I was up high in the building, beautiful view. I had two decks on us. I mean, it was nice. I had a gas kitchen. It was gorgeous. I hated to have to move, but this is what motivated me to move. Okay, my daughter at the time was 11. Little flat chested girl with pigtails in her hair. I still did her hair. She had like bows in her hair and stuff like that, right? So this was let's see. So we moved in June, so this had to be late April, early May. So it's the end of the school year. Um and she had just turned 11, because her birthday's in April. So she just had turned 11 years old. No boobs, no figure, just a little stick straight up and down string bean little girl. Okay. We park your car and you come in through the one part into the lobby. Nice lobby with marble and plants. I mean, it was very nice building. And this, I'm getting my mail, right? And she's standing there. So these two, the kind of dusties that I'm talking about with the gold tooth and the sagging ass pants, come walking through the front door. Somebody buzzed me, and one of them women on the first two floors, and they slowed down. And we're standing, you look through your mail, like, So I really wasn't looking at them at first, but my daughter was, little kid, how they bounce around and stuff. These motherfuckers stopped where they were, and they're staring at my daughter like this, like she was a tasty treat. I turned around and I saw that shit. Honey, I'm telling you, within 2 weeks, we was up out of there. Because I knew, because a lot of times, she would have to come home from school by herself. This particular day, I had picked her up. But, she would come home by herself. And it scared me so bad to think that my baby could have been coming in the door at the same time they did. And then who knows what would have happened to her. You see what I'm saying? That scared the shit out of me. So my job that I had at the time, I was like, I need to be off work every day for the next 3 weeks to pick my daughter up from school. And they're like, well, you have to be docked for some pay. I'm like, I don't give no fucks given. Yeah, I'll make it work. And so I left at 2 and I was working in San Francisco, made it back and picked my daughter up at 3:10 every day until we moved. I made sure that shit happened. And I found a place in a white suburb and we moved. We was the fuck up out of there by the end of the month. I'm telling you. I made that shit happen because I was like, oh no. I just could see it. I could just see the handwriting on the wall. And she just oblivious. She don't even know what's going on. She's handing there, which is how little kids should be. She was doing what she should have been doing. The one who was being inappropriate was them. But I just could see it was just gonna be all bad if I didn't take control of that situation, get her to fuck up out of there like pronto. So that's what we did. And then we moved, to where the white folks is. There was different problems with them, but it wasn't nothing like that because everybody was scared of me. They were scared of my ass. So, that's just something everybody, of course, doesn't have that kind of resources or that kind of credit, but that, you might not be able to make that kind of move as quickly as I did. But, you should still do whatever you can to protect your daughters because they're going to be on them. From 11 to 17, Black girls are not safe. They are not safe for men, probably even younger than that. But, yeah, and this girl was taking calculus, high school student taking college calculus. That little girl was smart. Her mother should have had somebody, a driver for her, something. Don't leave your daughters by themselves like that. That's the vulnerable age where sex traffickers be after them. 14 through 16, that's the prime age where they be after your daughters. So you guys better be, recognize. Oh no, you would have never been able to bring a boyfriend home. Oh hell no. Even my daughter, she was like 19 and 20 and stuff, and she bringing these little boys home. I'm sitting there looking at them. Who is you? What's your name? Where you come from? What you doing? What you taking in school? You not in school. What were you working? Where are you working? How many hours a week do you work? What? You don't work? Oh hell no. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. I don't know. I'm telling you. Oh yeah. No, I'm like, oh, my daughter, what the fuck are you doing? Well, he told me he worked. I said, did you ask him like I did? Because I want to know not only where you work, but how many hours you work and when you gonna be at work, and I'm gonna come by your job and see you working. So see, when I start jamming them up like that, then suddenly they admit they don't have a job. Oh no, motherfucker, you get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. Yeah, you need to have a nice little, nest egg of money, and kids are expensive as hell. And you want to have a situation where you have money in the bank. So in case your kid gets sick, shit, what if you get sick? You want to have I have disability insurance. So if I get, like injured in a car accident or something like that, it pays me my full salary. Everybody should have that. If you have children, you got to get some jobs offer it. But if not, you go get you a policy so that if you get injured, if you get sick, you come down with something that you need to get a surgery or something, you're going to be out of work recovering for 6 months or something like that. They will pay. You don't have to worry about losing your house and losing your car and your kids not being able to eat and have to be on welfare or something. Y'all need to handle your business. You got to think about shit. Don't just think about what's going on today and stay your ass out them stores, mind all that designer shit and running up all that credit card debt at 30% and all that old stuff that people be charging outrageous amounts of money for them store credit cards. If you don't have the cash to pay for it, then you don't need it. Take your ass to Ross Dress for Less or Marshalls or some shit and buy something that's cute. You don't need to have somebody else's name on it. Your ass living in a rental unit and driving a little bucket and all this stuff, but you got designer clothes on you and your kids. That is stupid. That's a waste of money. But let's talk about that another time. But see, if you do that, you spend your money on stuff like that, then you can't make the kind of moves like I was making. I'm a very frugal person. I bought my daughter's clothes at J.C. Penney's. It's still one of my favorite stores, and Mervyn's when they were still in business. But my daughter dressed in Oshkosh Bagosh clothes from J.C. Penney up until she was like 5 or 6 years old. And then I would get her other stuff. But I'm like, what? I'm telling you, kids grow too much. They grow too fast. You buying them all them $50 and $60 shoes and shit. I barely pay that much for my shoes. And I'm grown. Don't be doing that. Stop wasting money. You can buy your kids a decent pair of shoes for $20. Them little tiny little feet like this, and you spending $60 on them just so you can brag about, yeah, my baby only wears Jordans. Yeah, if you don't have no Jordan money. So, I mean, you know what I mean? What's more important, having money in the bank or having your kids, grow out of some shoes that you just paid $60 for? They can only wear them for 2 weeks. That don't make no sense. Yeah, they do be buying them. I be looking at them people like, damn, you stupid. And then you're going to be crying about you don't have no money and you just spending all your money on bullshit. Can't do that. But we'll have to talk about all that ways that people be wasting their money. So let's talk about this now. How men, treat women in ways that are demeaning, that show ownership, that show that they're trying to control us. Like I mentioned, this thing about telling you to smile, like they have command of your body, and yet you have to do what they say, like you're a marionette on a string. That's like, how about that? Smile at this. You want somebody to smile, smile. You smile, motherfucker. You do it. You don't want to be showing your teeth to them and stuff. They feel like, we're supposed to be quiet and beautiful and to give them everything they want, and at whenever they want it and how often they want it and the way that they want it. They just feel like that. That's why that movie, The Stepford Wives, was so a fan favorite with controlling ass men. And they want you to be soft and sweet and curvy. And that's why the trans dudes, you notice how they take all the like stereotypes of femininity and they just be overdoing it. That's because that's how men see us. They think that's how we should be because that's their idea of what a woman should be like, right? So they go and epitomize this freakness of a woman. And when real women, I mean, some women like to do all that shit, but if you're comfortable in your femininity and in yourself as a woman, you don't need to do all that because you got it like that. You don't need to. And what else do they do? um yeah, they don't like us to speak. They don't like you to have like an opinion. They don't like you to be direct, to confrontational. Because the first thing they do is want to tell you that you angry or bitter. That's the favorite word. Because you just tell them no and fuck you and stuff like that. Oh, you're not talking like a lady. I'm not a lady, motherfucker. I never claimed to be that bullshit, and I'm not trying to be one. I'm Deborah. Okay, I'm what I am. I'm not ever gonna fit your mold because I'm not fucking you. I don't give a shit what you think. And even if I was fucking you, I still wouldn't give a shit what you think. So I mean, obviously, I don't give a shit what you think. So I'm gonna do what I want to do. Like I said in the video yesterday, I do what I want to do. I'm going to continue to do what I want to do for the rest of my life. I'm going to do what the fuck I please. That's what happens when you just a broom rider. It just gives no fucks. So, they get on my case. A lot of you can see the comments on the wall. They're like, oh, your language, you little curse too much. You're just awful. What kind of woman does stuff like that? I'm like, shh, I don't know. I don't know what to. And they feel like, that we have to be a certain level of purity. Remember the letter yesterday where the woman had all the different experiences and she made a fatal mistake of telling her stupid ass husband? Well, see, the men have this thing like you're supposed to just sit there with your hands like this, waiting for one of them to show up, and then all this wild freakness is gonna magically appear, but it only appears for them, and then it goes back to being like this while you wait for the next man. And so they hate to think that you have a sex life and that you enjoy it and that you're going to get your freak on with whoever you want to whenever you please because you like it. They can't handle that. It's like, you're too forward. There's something wrong with you. So then they pull out all these horrible names. You're a slut, you a whore, you're this, you're that. You ain't no good. You trifling, you trash. They want to just, they try to demean you for being the type of person that they are as far as enjoying your body. It's yours. You do what you want to with it. They also do what we call mansplain. Have you ever experienced that? Oh, they do. They be with wearing you out with that shit. Okay, here comes some women, right? We talking about something and we're sharing our opinions, our experiences on what happened to us and the way that we feel about it, and how it disturbed us or what we don't like it, whatever. Okay, whatever it is, we gonna sharing our thoughts. Okay, then here they come. Oh, "Oh, you shouldn't feel like that. That's wrong. Not all men are that way." They trying to try to just like twist it around and try to make you feel guilty or like what you're saying, what you're feeling, what you're thinking is wrong because they know better. They know more about your life, a complete stranger on the internet. They know more about your life than you do. Because since it hasn't happened to them, since they haven't seen it, then that means that you're wrong. It couldn't have possibly happened that way because I've never seen it happen. Well, you're not a woman. Okay, and it really kills me when these white dudes come over here and start trying to mansplain. I'm like, motherfucker, have you looked in the mirror lately? What part of you is a black woman? You don't have shit to say on this channel. Nothing. Don't say shit to me. Okay, because unless you're gonna talk and you here to learn something and you ask some intelligent questions, but the second you come out with, well, I think this, and you start writing them long ass, long-winded novels of a comment and trying to tell me something, you know what I do? Read the first paragraph, I read the last paragraph, and if I don't like what I read, I press the delete button. And so all them 17 paragraphs that you wrote in the middle, I never even read them. I don't know what they say and really don't care. But the thing is, you gonna come to my channel and start telling me what women should do or how we should think and all this other shit. And it's like you a white boy living in America and you talking about white girls to a black woman. What part of that makes any sense? Where you think you gonna get any kind of support for that bullshit here? I mean, they come whining about how the white girls treat them and stuff. I'm like, maybe you deserved it. Should have chose better. Or then they think like you get mad, right? You do some shit, they do some shit, right? And you get mad and you start, cussing, throwing stuff, telling about themselves. Oh, you need to calm down in this patronizing tone of voice, like like you're a toddler throwing a tantrum, and you don't have any valid reason to be going to fuck off and cussing at his ass and stuff. They try to put it in a position like it makes you seem like you're crazy for being upset at how they treated you instead of being acknowledging the fact that they upset you by treating you poorly. See, they try to flip that shit around so that you end up apologizing to them and trying to control your feelings instead of letting your feelings out. Don't ever do that. If they hit you with that stuff, did escalate. Start cussing more. Pick up a chair and throw it at his ass. It's like I hate when they do that. And man, to be trying to rein you in and control you and stuff and then make you do what they want you to do. I'm like, please, I'm going to continue cussing you until I get hoarse. How about that? I'm going to call you up and cuss you out. I'm going to make recordings of me cussing you out and then play them on your phone. That's what I'm going to do. Oh my God, these dudes be killing me. And then they want to stealth you, right? Oh, this is another way they control you. We have a video on that too. This one dude, I did a video on him. He was mad because he stealthed this girl and got her pregnant, and he thought he was gonna have some control over her. Girlfriend skied up and left him with that fucking ass baby. She's like, "Nah, I'll write that check." She paid child support. The smartest move ever, man. I wanted to find that girl and shake her hand and buy her drinks because she did some shit. That's some shit I would do. It's like, okay, well, I got accidentally pregnant. Maybe I don't want to get an abortion. Dad would have headed to the abortion clinic, but since she had the baby, he wanted the baby. He said he wanted the babies, and she was kind enough to have the baby. Okay. But what he really wanted was to have a way to control her by using the baby. And she was like, "Oh no, sweetheart. Oh no, here's the baby that you wanted. And then let's go to court, and then I'll pay this monthly child support." And she went on about his business. Her business. He wrote all kind of paragraphs whining about how she was a horrible mother because she didn't want to take care of her child, but she already told you she didn't want the baby. You the one begging for her to have the baby to get an abortion. So now you got the baby that you want. Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard. She doesn't help me with the baby. But she told you she didn't want the baby. So what you want? What you want? She gave you child support. That's more than what most women get. And she was paying a grip like $400-500 a month. And she was paying more than what the court order was. So he had no complaints. He just wanted a bitch because he had lost, his little fantasy of being able to control her was gone. Okay, then how another way that men try to control you by touching you. Okay, they're gonna force themselves on you. They're gonna make you accept them touching your body, even though you don't want them to. That's why y'all got to learn self-defense. So that's like this way my brother taught me. Like I can't do it because I don't have nothing here that bends. But anyway, like that you grab that hand and you guys got to have some strength. So you need to lift some weights or something, and you bend that finger fuck back and drop that motherfucker to his knees and keep bending it too until it snaps. I had to teach his ass to touch somebody. But it's like y'all kind of things that you can do. These guys are just terrible. They're just predators, and they want to, they just want to abuse women. It's like by touching you, it's like it totally removes your feelings that you have the right to control your body, and that's what they want. They want to feel like, no, I control your body. I control you because I can touch you anytime I want to, even though you don't want me to. So that's what it's good that they touch your boob, grab his dick. Grab his nuts and squeeze. Preferably drop down to the ground and just lay flat on your back, pulling his nuts with you when you go. That'll teach that motherfucker to touch somebody. You know what I mean? They just be doing too much. And see, this thing where you guys, you want to be nice, so you just endure it. That's what I'm telling you. You got to fight fire with these dudes. So it's like, you might touch my boob, but motherfucker, I'm leaving with your nuts now. And any thoughts you had of having a child in the future or fucking, that shit's going up in smoke, because I'm taking your nuts with me when I go. And you're going to be looking for a doctor to give you some fake ones. You shouldn't have touched me. And then you wouldn't be having that problem. Oh my God, these dudes be doing the too fucking much. And I know this video would not run any ads. You know what? I don't even give a shit, because I need to say this, and I need to say all of what I want to say. And sometimes, you just got to make that sacrifice. As they say, you got to take that hit. They take that. What's the word? That's another word. I can't remember what they say, what the term is, but you just got to take it like a woman. And this is it, because I have some shit I need to say to you guys. I'm gonna try to, not do this so much though, because the revenue, definitely helps pay some things. It keeps my equipment nice and all this stuff. That's how I bought the background. I bought the new camera that's better. I have some lights sitting over there. I got my computer upgraded so I could stream better and faster. Stuff like that. So I'm doing things that's gonna make a better show for you. And that shit costs money. So that's I can't do this too much, but I'm gonna try to squeeze it all in into one. Yo, take the L. There you go. That's what I'm saying. That's the phrase I was looking for. I couldn't get it. But okay, and then you think about, how we trust men. We're taught to trust men, right? So you leave your kids, well, that's their daddy. Then you find out that the motherfucker was, molesting the kids and raping the daughter and doing all this stuff. And I remember when I worked for I did this contract for a county agency. And one of the things, the story came in for this little girl had reported to the teacher. And of course, they had to report it to CPS, and the police got involved in this and that. The little girl, little Latina girl, is about 12, 13 years old. Her dad had her, and this was her real father now, had her in a room with him and his buddies while they were drinking. And he let his friends feel up under his daughter's clothes and all over in dry humper. So, it's just going to be a matter of time before he was taking money from them while they screwed her. He was going to be pimping out his daughter. This was, this was the setup. But luckily, she went to school and told it. It's not necessarily saying that, if she had to go to foster home, that it would be better off. But what I was hoping was that they would move the father from the home and just leave her with the mother, you know. And because that was some bullshit. How you do that to your daughter? What the fuck is wrong with you? But see, that's what I'm saying. When I say this kind of stuff to women, you can't even trust the fathers. When you got girls, you can't even trust them. Give them motherfuckers a side eye too. But black women want to argue you down. No, but that's their daddy. I don't give a fuck who it is. He got a dick. Okay, he got a dick and he's a freak. So he's a freak. Y'all has married him. So it's like, what you want me to do? I just tell you one thing, you better watch your daughter though. Until you know for a fact, because your daughter is the one telling you that he's not not like that. To me, all of them are suspect. I don't trust no man around a little girl. I don't give a fuck who it is. So let's talk about this. Okay, so yeah, you trust them, you love them, and then you think about these old ass men that be trying to hit on these young girls. Oh, here in Oakland, out at the high schools and the middle schools, niggas will be parked outside the schools in their cars, like sitting on the car. You know how people lean up against the hood and lean up against the passengers? They lean like this and they leaned back, right, watching the little girls come and go. These little girls are 13, 14, 15 years old. They're kids. And these dudes out there, scoping them, trying to holler at them, stuff. Men in their 20s and 30s. These are not like, older teenagers. These are grown ass men. and just trying to just holler at these little girls. I'm just telling you, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with them. And it's like it's just too much. It's too much, and it's happening too often to too many kids. And it's like it's these men have some kind of arrested development, and that's what makes them attracted to children. They can't deal with a woman of their own age who's got some sense, and who's logical and reasonable, and has life experience, and who's going to check them and stuff like that. They can't deal with her. They need to have somebody who's naive and innocent and inexperienced, because that's what they want, because it's easier to control. I keep telling you guys, it's all about them controlling women. That's all they want to do. They don't get it. You guys, these men don't understand. You don't own women. You don't own us. Even if you're married to a woman, you don't own her. This one dude, I was on a radio show and talking about my book, The Black Church, and I was on with this woman. She did a radio show, but she was a pastor's wife, right? And so this guy calls into the radio show, and he's like, "No, because when you get married, your wife's body belongs to you." And blah blah blah. He like, had some made up scripture that he said. Now it's like, nigga, do you realize you talking to a pastor's wife and she know the Bible inside and out? So you talking about some man. So she started laughing, and she told him, "No, that's not in the Bible. I don't know where you got that from. And you don't own your wife, sir." She was very diplomatic. I just said, "Nigga, you stupid," and hung up the phone. But she was being very preacher's wifey, in her approach, and she told him, some scriptures that countered what he was saying and this and that. But I mean, his attitude was that he owns his wife's body, and that she got to give him some whenever he wants to and do whatever he wants her to do, because they're married now. I'm like, okay, what is this, like an auction block? Instead of, you at the altar, but it's really an auction block, and now he owns you like a slave. That's what he made it sound like. He's just entitled to her body and her emotions and everything else whenever he pleased. She had no say so. It's when dudes ask somebody who's like, a lesbian, they say, if they can get in that action, or can they watch and all this kind of stuff. What is that? What did you think, that women are just here to entertain you? That that their bodies and their lives are just here as something, a vehicle for your pleasure? See, even that is a mentality. That's an attitude of control and domination. And it's like, what are you doing? It's not, women are not like your participation trophies, like these what you call them, incel dudes seem to think. That's why they get mad, because women don't give them what they want, and they're livid. But it's like, they have this attitude, like I said in that video about participation trophies. Like, because they think they're a good guy, because they have a job, because they went to school, because they, bathe every now and again and brush their teeth, they feel like they're entitled to a beautiful woman. And it's like, dude, really? I mean, in what universe does that happen? So, if you have a society which now gives everybody a trophy, even if they're not accomplishing anything, they just barely show up. That mentality has carried over into the dating world. Do you see what I'm talking about? So, parents was like all happy because their kids got a trophy just for being on a team, even though they never hit a ball, and all they hit was strikes, or they never got a basket. They didn't really do shit. They didn't contribute anything to the team winning, but they still got a trophy, just like the kids who made all the baskets, the kids who made all the touchdowns, the kids who blocked all the shots, the kids who did all the work. Your kid gets the same trophy as them. See, no. And but see, that's the mentality that these guys have now, because they grew up in the 90s, they're in the 90s, born in the 90s and the 80s, and they grew up in the participation trophy era. And that shit, that mentality, well, I deserve it because I was there just like you. And they get mad at the star players, which are what, star players, the ones who get the girls, and they're angry because they want their participation trophy booty too. It's the same mentality, you know. I'm telling you, this is something else. As parents, I blame parents for that shit. You could said before, if you got a kid and kid comes up with a participation trophy, throw that shit in the trash and sit down and lecture your child on what greatness is, because your child is accepting, and you're accepting mediocrity. And there is no room for mediocrity in the Black community. That shit is garbage. That trophy is garbage. Throw that shit away, and make sure your child sees you throwing it away, and tell them that Jim getting a trophy and getting a reward for doing nothing stellar is not the method that you do use in your household. You get a trophy when you have something that you have triumphed over. Just showing up and breathing, Sitting on you putting your uniform on and sitting on a bench and you get a trophy? Hell fucking no. But see, that's the attitude by promoting that. Now you got these generations of boys who think that your daughters or you are their trophy that they deserve to have just because they showed up. It's like, whoa, this is some bullshit. So let's see. Let's talk about this too. Now, like they talk about this lady made a point and she said, how young girls get dress coded and sent home because her body is a distraction to the boys. I remember a case where a woman sued the partners of a law, it was a law firm too, because they told her that she was too beautiful and that she was distracting the other attorneys. So they fired her and she sued. And do you know the judge agreed with them? I'm like, see, these judges are stupid. But what that really was somebody, one of them dudes' wives was feeling all insecure and jealous, and she got on his case about it, and he's trying to save his marriage. So she's like, get rid of her because she's too good looking. That's some bullshit. And then what the husband's supposed to do, well, that's, tell her, well, that's your problem. What you want me to do? The woman is an excellent attorney. I hired her for her skills, not her looks. The looks is just a bonus. And if you feeling all intimidated and stuff, that's your low self-esteem. That don't have shit to do with me. So I would be a terrible husband. I couldn't have a wife like that because she would just get on my nerves. It's like, this insecurity just rubbing me the wrong way. Stop it. And it's like what this does, with girls with talking to like this, and men talking to them like that, and men touching their bodies, and men making them feel small, making sexual comments to your girls and stuff. What you're teaching them, if you don't stand up for your daughter, what you're teaching her is that these men have the right to do that to her. That's what you're doing. So these parents, you have men in your family who say inappropriate things to your daughter, and you tell her, well, he didn't mean it. Oh, just let it go. He does something, he touches her, he does something to her, even worse than touching. Well, we just gonna let this go. We're not gonna report him because we don't want another black man in prison. We this and that. Okay, you're making your daughter responsible. You're putting in her head that she is responsible as a child, as a female, for the behavior of grown men. That's what you're teaching your daughter with them negative, the mammy ass messages that you have. You're supposed to fry a motherfucker that says some shit to your daughter that he's not supposed to say. I don't care if he just grabs his dick in front of her, scratches his nuts in front of her. Get the fuck out of my house, you nasty fart. I don't want to, you're not gonna be around my kids acting like that. Your daughter needs to see you defending her. Okay, she needs to see it. She needs to hear it. She needs to know that you care. So you sitting up there and you just letting her suffer and be demeaned, degraded, and talk to like she has a tail, and her body touching like she's learning that she has no right to even dictate her own body, and that men's needs, men's desires are always more important to her. That's what you're teaching your daughter. And then you wonder why she grows up and gets in situations like this where men take advantage of her. Y'all did that to your daughters. You did that. You did that. You know. You tell when you say, well, boys will be boys, all that little those trite colloquialisms and all that shit that absolves men of responsibility and accountability. When you say shit like that and you teach your daughters that kind of stuff and your sons, you're perpetuating this nonsense. You are embracing the rape culture by what you're doing. You need to stop doing that. Every time you see some shit that some girls getting mistreated, you need to step the fuck up and say something. Say something. Let her know that it's not her fault. Let her know that this dude is nasty and say it to his fucking face. You nasty freak. Well, how dare you treat a child like that? Oh man, I'm telling you, you know, this sense of ownership, you know, where they try to make us what we are a problem. Like they can't control themselves because of our beauty, our sexual energy, our anything. They're violent because we have too much mouth. We talk too much. We're too disagreeable. We have too much of an opinion. We've had too much sexual experience. We don't like what they like. Well, anything that we do that's contradicting what their image is of what we quote should be, it has to be met with anger, and has to be met with rage, and has to be met with violence because somebody's not what you want them to be. See, these men, I'm telling you, these dudes, I don't know. I'm really like to the point now where, all these excuses and all these justifications they have for hurting women. And even online, they're verbally and emotionally abusive. They say the rudest, crudest things, and they really attack you online if you're a woman that has like a platform. Oh boy, notice how they have been going after all the women. They got a lot of women that shut their channels down because they had a big following, way bigger than mine. These sisters had like, 100,000 and all this kind of stuff. But they had like, the ears of people, and they had a platform, and women were following them, some men too. And they got so jealous. They got so threatened because they feel like if you're a woman and you're promoting a message that's contradictory to what the messages that they want women to have of, of submissiveness and slavery and, insecurity because it gives them more power. Remember the videos about how they want to break your ego? They want to break you down. They want to totally pull you off your pedestal that you think you on. All that kind of stuff. All that is designed to get mental and emotional control of you so that you do what they want, where you're more worried about pleasing them than you are about meeting your own needs. And somebody like me, seeing some of these other women, we don't listen to that. We don't tell you guys that. We promote you to be as strong and as beautiful and as accomplished and well traveled and well spoken and everything. I mean, you just be who you want to be, and we support that. They find that extremely threatening because it's the completely opposite message that they want women to hear. So that's why when they have those women have those channels where they're sucking up to men like, oh, my king is my king, all black men are wonderful, this and that, blah, blah, blah. They will, promote, they big up them women all the time. Oh man, they spread that link around. They love them women. They will blow her up. But a woman who talks differently, who tells them about themselves and lets them know, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. You ain't never been shit, and you ain't gonna never be shit because you trifling and stupid. Oh, they can't stand it, and that's what they come. You guys don't get to see all those comments. I don't get to see all of them either because my cousin, goes and moderates a lot of them for me. But I think so because it was a surprise. It was kind of thing you just happened to show up, and I'm glad you did. But oh yes, they do. They'll call you all kind of names, all kind of names. But you know, that's it. There's a lot of jealousy. Um, they just want to swear at you, cuss at you, make intimidating remarks like where they threaten violence towards you, all kind of stuff. They just be doing the most. Um, like a lot of women, like I said, have felt so attacked. They just shut their channels down and went on about their business. I'm never shutting my shit down. You could just do whatever you want to and say whatever you want to. That's not going to change shit here. So how do these men get you? I'm going to try to wind this up. How do these men get into women into these positions? Uh-oh, my phone. First, they start off, they're really nice, right? They're really nice. And they, are charming. That's what sociopaths and psychopaths do. They charm you so you never have any kind of idea that they're, this vicious, vile creature that slithered out from the Black Lagoon. They never, they're not going to come at you like that, let you see their cards right away. They want to snare you in the trap, right? So they'd be all nice. They'd be everything that you want, just Mr. Nice guy. The good looking, charming, they smooch with your parents like them, everybody likes them. But then, you start getting some, little rumblings of something not quite right. And, he starts with the things where he starts making you feel uncomfortable. He maybe like he starts attacking you, attacking your dreams, saying negative things about your body. A little jab. I call them jabs because they're not so bad that you want to get rid of them, but they make you get a sting. Let me put it that way. You get a little sting, and then they see that you're hurt, right? And so then they say, "Oh, wait, I didn't really mean it. I care about you, blah blah blah." Right? So then they kind of smooth it over, right? And so since you are in his trap now, you're emotionally attached to him. So you just let it go. You think, "Oh well, he didn't really mean it. He did apologize." I guess maybe I am too sensitive. You start blaming yourself. See, I never blame myself. Everything is the man's fault. Anything that gets fucked up in my life and I'm in a relationship, it's that motherfucker's fault because he did something to make it be fucked up. And if he hadn't done it, then I would have been fine. So it's his fault, and I'm never gonna blame myself for anything in a relationship. Okay, so then the nonsense starts, right? So you all mesmerized, you thinking he's Mr. Wonderful. He's Mr. Johnny on the spot. He takes you all these places. He's so attentive. He calls all the time. It's all wonderful. You just dizzy with the romance, right? Then he starts being a little bit too much. They start getting a little too much. Women say, he be showing up at their job, doing a pop up at their job, or he's out there at their house in the morning when they come out, because he can drive them to work. He's sending you texts all the time. He want to know where you are, who you with, what you doing, what time you coming home, where you gonna be at this and that time. It's like they start kind of reining you in, right? And a lot of women are flattered by it because they think, oh, he's just so into me. He just really wants to be with me. He wants to know where I am all the time and all this stuff. Mm-mm. That motherfucker's getting ready to put your ass on a hook like a fish. You got to jump out of it. That's not, he's not just being curious and caring. He's trying to find out stuff so he can figure out ways to get you deeper into the snare. So then once you do that, if you go along with it, right? So now he's kind of shrinking your world, right? Because you got to report to him where you are, who you with, and stuff. And then he's gonna start with oh, well, I don't really like that person, or that person doesn't like me. So then now you all are loved. So you feel loyal to him. So you're gonna cut that person out because they don't like your new man. And you want to be with your man. So you got, that girl over there, she's jealous of you. She's gonna try to make you, go get away from me and do things like that. So she's feeding her bullshit, right? And she dumb, so she listening. So then he starts isolating her, right? She don't go see her family that much. She don't hang out with her friends no more because he don't like her going to clubs and stuff anymore because she's in a relationship now. So her world is getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And so once he has her to where she's dependent on him, then he starts with the moodiness. That's how they do. So then they start doing the silent treatment. We talked about that last night. They start doing the silent treatment. Are they angry all the time? So here you are running around trying to placate them and get the relationship back to the way that it was. Because, where's the romance? Where's all these happy feelings? Why has he changed? What's wrong? What did I do? Again, you blame yourselves. I never blame myself. It's always his fault. Y'all need to adopt that policy. You know, I know the moody ass, bitchy ass dudes. I'll get up and walk the fuck out. It's like, it's you on your period or some shit. I'm not trying to deal with some man on a period. You're moody and shit. Take some fucking pampering and get the fuck on. I don't want to be bothered with you. And so then the woman starts walking on eggshells, right? And she starts, tipping around and figuring out what she gonna say so she don't upset him and everything. And in the meantime, his noose is getting tighter and tighter around the neck. Because why do they put up with it? Because they in love. They in love with the motherfucker. They in love, you know and they feel like if they want it. It's like the guys do the setup. That's what I said at the beginning. They're Mr. Charming, Mr. Perfect. They give you this like a magical genie giving you all your dreams come true. They even fool your parents, so your parents are on his side. If you start saying, well, he's acting up, it's something, he doesn't make me feel good anymore, the parents are like, what do you mean? He's such a nice guy. He's wonderful. It must be something you're doing. You need to try hard. So they start, he gets everybody on his side. This is intentional. I'm telling y'all the game. This is how it works. Okay, so then he starts getting, into the thing where not only is he stinging you, now he's going whole hog. He's whacking your ass upside the head with a baseball bat. When he's like cutting you down, you too fat, you too skinny, your boobs are too saggy, your face is fucked up, your skin is too mottled or discolored. Why don't you dye your hair like other people? Why don't you do this? I mean, he picks you apart. Your butt's too big, your butt's too small. Why don't you go to the gym? Why don't you stop going to the gym? You're too muscular, you look like a man. I mean, whatever they're going to do, they're going to cut everything that brings you joy, everything that brings you happiness. You read all the goddamn time. You're still stupid anyway. Why are you doing all that reading? I mean, anything that you do that brings you pleasure and joy, he's going to cut it down. He's going to attack it. He's going to attack your friends. You're going to be stupid. He's going to say that you're useless, that you're ugly, that your hobbies and interests are stupid and worthless, that nothing that you do is worth anything. You're not worth anything. He's going to attack you. If you dress in a night outfit, well, I don't like it. You should take that back to the store. You have no fashion sense. Who told you knew how to dress? So every single thing that they do, he's going to start, attacking you. Everything that you do, I mean, if he acts like he's fake mad, it's gonna be your fault. He's gonna make excuses about why it's your fault, and you, not knowing that you need to cuss him out and leave him alone, are gonna buy into it. And then they start with accusing you of sleeping with somebody. That's the next thing. I saw you looking at so and so. Who that nigga? What? Well, why was you late? You was out fucking. You was fucking somebody. That's how they do it. And so then you just a nervous wreck now. You just trying to just do everything you can to please this man and make sure he doesn't get mad and that he doesn't say all those things to you. And when the real solution to your problem is to get rid of him. See, the source of your problems is him. Once you got rid of him, all these things that you're concerned about would disappear. But because women are so attached to having a relationship, um, is it lagging? Well, I'm just saying these women are so attached to a relationship that you guys you would rather do anything and suffer any kind of consequence than be single. And then this is what we're gonna talk about tomorrow is women's fears. This is like my prelude, okay? Because this is the setup video, and then right there you come into the part where you want to submit to him. You know, you feel responsible for everything. He accuses of you of yes, you're right. Yes, I know. It's my fault. And these are women always apologize for everything. Oh my God. I think I've apologized maybe, I don't know, 5 times in my entire life. I apologize when I actually, is somebody I care about, and I thoughtlessly said or did something that hurt that person, and I admit sometimes do that. Okay. But I'm like I said, most of the time when I do some shit that's fucked up, I meant to do it. I wanted to hurt your feelings. I meant every fucking word, everything I did to cause you pains and problems. I intentionally did that shit. So now I'm not going to fucking apologize. I'm not going to apologize. I'm going to figure out something to do to hurt your feelings even more now that I know it worked. So, don't come to me telling me that hurt your feelings. That would be a mistake. Because now I'm getting ready to go and I'm going to really fuck you up. Especially to somebody that I can't stand anyway. I'm going to do everything I can. I'm like, these people are too much. Okay, so then, they start harassing you. They checking you on everything. They start grabbing you, right? Before it was just words. Now he's going to twist your arm. He's going to pin you in the room. He's going to, choke you. He's going to squeeze your wrists and stuff. He's going to, slap you, punch you, push you, all kind of stuff that shows physical domination. So now not only are you worried about keeping the relationship, you're afraid of him. So this is another part of the things, they want to slam the wall by you and stuff like that. Now, I actually worked at a law firm where one of the attorneys did that to this lady, and she like had a meltdown because it turned out that she had escaped an abusive husband who used to beat her ass, and this guy was real crazy like that, and um she found it very threatening. I mean, they said the woman just crumbled on, and this was an older lady. She was like in her late 50s or something, and he slammed his hand on the wall by her head. And they said, I wasn't there that day, I didn't see it, but they said she just she crumbled down to the floor, fainted, and then was like crying, like hysterical. When she came to, she was they had to like get the paramedics to take her up out of there, and she went out on a stress leave. I don't know if she ever came back. I left that law firm. But I'm like, this dude here, because I had a run in with his ass too. And they had those metal 3-hole punches that they have at law firms, some heavy ones. I had picked that shit up because I'm thinking, you just come at me, you say one more thing to me and make any kind of threatening gesture in my way, I'm gonna clock his fucking ass upside the head with that thing. And I think they probably weighed about 6 to 7 pounds. So if you swing it and you hit somebody on the side of their head, they going down. And that's when I was bench pressing 140, 150 pounds. So I was, buff. And it's like when I swung that thing, it was gonna fuck him up. But he was like all in my face acting stupid. And I at work now, who does that? I'm like, what I'm telling you, these white dudes, they be doing the most. It's like, yeah, who put names in my chat? Delete that shit. Why do people always come in here breaking the rules? I mean, I think they doing that on purpose. Then, okay, so now they made you feel feel risky, right? At risk of being hurt. The next level up, because see, notice everything's escalating. The next level up is then where they're gonna punish you because if you try to stand up for yourself, or you try to leave them, or you try to do anything that they don't want you to do, you have to be punished. They're gonna hurt your cat, they're gonna hurt your kids, they're gonna, threaten you, or they're gonna say they might threaten themselves. Anything that they can do, they're gonna start breaking your stuff. The stuff that you like is gonna disappear from the house. And like I had a boyfriend like that. He can taught himself punishing me. And I had a ring that my grandmother gave. Of course, I couldn't get the ring back, but he had taken my ring and pawned it. It just so happened I had been looking for the ring, and I'm like, where the fuck is my ring? And he could act like he didn't know nothing about it, right? But someday I don't know what made me look in his clothes. It's like sometimes you get like this sixth sense. I'm in dude's closet going through his pockets. I had never done anything like that before. Never have done anything like that since. But in that moment, something told me that that's what I needed to do. Why did I find a pawn ticket for my grandmother's ring? Okay, you know what I did? I went in his checkbook. I took a check out the back, forged that motherfucker's signature. Look, because I had practiced, it looked just like his. Wrote myself a check for $500 and cashed it. And so then it's like, well, that's we about even. So way later, he was like, "Oh, $500 missing from my account." I'm like, "Really?" I acted just as bland as he did about that, as a ring. So then when the checks come back, of course he saw it was my name on there. Those are the days when they still mailed you your canceled check. And he saw my name on there. I said, "Well, it's like this. You took my ring. I took the money for the ring. You got a problem with that?" And he said, "No." I said, "Well, then we square." That's it. But I'm not gonna get mad. I'm just gonna get even. You know? Who's Taj? This heifer. I deleted it myself. If Taj posts anything else, just block her from the chat because she just rude. One thing I cannot stand is rude bitches coming in my chat. Okay, so here we go. I'm just saying, if you're going to come in somebody's chat and start talking about some other bitch, what the fuck? You want to promote somebody else, bitch, you need to write me a check. That's what you need to do. Sitting up here thinking you're going to get some free pimping off of me. I don't do that. That's why I don't put anybody's name on in my channel. You know, I'm just saying, because see, that could be some money. I could send that money to Bedwinch for being a good moderator. She volunteered to do this, but it's like, you don't get no freebies here. And it's very simple. And it's very, it's equal. It's equality across the board. I'm not going to pick and choose who I'm going to do it. I'm going to just do it for nobody. Friends or foe. All my friends understand. They understand. They're not tripping. And it's just, it's just, yeah, it just relieves a lot see, Bedwinch, it's my girl. She got a sister back. I don't even know her, but she just like came in the chat one day and she just was like on it. And I'm like, oh my God, this lady is cool as hell. And so she became my moderator. So yeah, if you're gonna send some money, you do that, and then I'm gonna send it to her. That's what we're gonna do. Because she's got to deal with knuckleheads. Yes, I'm a Leo. Leo, 3 signs in Leo. So I'm about as Leo as you can get, I guess. Um, so anyway, if you have a man like this in your life, and he's gonna up the ante to where he's gonna punish you now because you had the nerve to try to leave him. See, that's why those battered women shelters and even the police say the most dangerous time for a woman in an abusive relationship is when she tries to leave her abuser. Hey, do you remember that? They always say that. Ooh, I have to take these things off. It's making my nose hurt. It's the most dangerous time is when she tries to leave the abuser because then he knows that he's lost control of you, and whatever ego food he's getting from being how he has manipulated and controls you, he knows is going away, and he feels this terrible sense of loss and fear. And even though people think that those kind of men are the strongest, they're actually the weakest. They are so terrified that you're going to leave them. They go through all these machinations to try to make sure that you don't. So that, they want you to be fearful. And so they try to flip it around and make you seem like you're the weak one, and when it's really him. Because a man who's confident and secure in himself has no need to treat anyone like that. He has no need to try to, get the upper hand and dominate someone with cruelty and abuse. So that's a sign of somebody who's really weak. That's what's going on there. So, and if she does manage to get away, which a lot of women do, they start stalking you. They start threatening you. They come by your house. You see them everywhere you go. They blow up your phone. They blow up your text. They blow up your social media accounts. They threaten you. They come to your job. I mean, all kind of crazy stuff. These dudes are crazy. And even like, remember that case where the woman divorced her husband, and they had been divorced for years. And then he comes to her job and shoots her, kills her and some kid. Jesus works a special needs teacher, and he, shot everybody because he was that mad that she got away from him. So these guys, um, and if you leave your pets or you leave your kids, the kids are and pets are good as dead or tortured to death or something, because they're going to feel like by getting that's something that they can get to versus you. So they're going to take advantage of hurting it. So that's probably why girlfriend in the earlier example left and went to go claim her cat so she wouldn't be feeling guilty about it, knowing that he did something to her kitty. So I mean, I guess I could understand that, but I do take issue with her showing up there by herself. She should have went with the cops, the Fruit of Islam, Ray Nim, somebody. She's just like Tyreek Nim, don't go up in there by yourself. Bring you some muscle and some brothers, preferably who's packing and who don't mind shooting somebody. That's who you should bring with you. That you got to deal with some kind of knucklehead like that. So this, I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. This is a valid fear. These fears that women have about men like this is a very valid concern that we all have, because you just never know. You're going to run into it. He's going to be perfectly charming at the beginning, and then he's going to turn into a fool at the end. See, my thing is I like to do just be regular, where he says some things that's maybe, a little awkward or something. He's a little unsure about himself. He's not like so polished and perfect. He says shit that makes you roll your eyes, but not like in a way where you're disgusted, just like where you roll your eyes like, oh my God, is he just, what's wrong with him? Kind of like that, like light kind of stuff. But if it's some stuff that's very serious where you rolling your eyes and you're like, this motherfucker crazy, kind of roll your eyes, you doing like this when you consider what he said or did, then that's somebody you need to leave alone. And the sooner you leave them alone, the better. So what we're going to be talking about tomorrow is a blend of some real fears that women have. But I want to delve into some of the fears that you guys expressed to me over the years. Because, I've been doing this relationship stuff for almost 30 years now. Damn, I'm old. So it's like, you kind of get a feel from the letters of similar, uh, like a similar trend. There's certain things that women express that they're afraid of, and those things surrounding men and relationships are what motivates a lot of women to accept unacceptable behavior and stay in relationships that are harmful to them mentally and emotionally. And so that's what I want to talk about tomorrow. Is Topic Thursday. We'll be talking about women's fears and how you succumbing to those fears can get you in a situation. All right. But I am glad that so many people were able to find me here today, because this is, me, I'm telling you, you better click that bell symbol, because you just never know when I'm going to pop up. You just never know. It's like, boop, I'm here. And I thought, I don't know, this topic, I just couldn't hold it. I just couldn't hold it. I wouldn't be able to sleep tonight if I didn't talk about this, because it was just too much. It's just too much on my mind. And it's something I think, I'm trying to get a lot of information out about this kind of stuff before our girls head off to college. They'll be leaving in a few weeks. And yeah, I need to get, they need to be up on what's going on with these guys and what to watch out for, as they head into these parties and campus events and all this stuff where all these knuckleheads are. Because a lot of times you go to these colleges, you think it's all the students. They're not students. They're from off campus. And they come to these off campus parties perpetrating like they're students. And they're actually older guys, dropouts and knuckleheads, jailbirds, all kind of stuff, trying to get them some co-ed coochie. So, you guys, you got to get your daughters up on this game. Don't just send them off to college with no information and just like setting them up to get victimized. I don't like that. I want them to go to school and know what's up. And if they know, they can also share the information that they learned here with other young ladies who maybe haven't heard about the channel yet. But that's my goal, over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be really pushing some information that I think girls, headed off to college can use, and that will help save a bunch of them from some nonsense. All right. So I thank you guys for coming. Be sure to come by tomorrow. We're going to get started at the same time at 6 o'clock, the specific time, 9 if you're on the East Coast, and I guess that's 8 if you're on Central Time. And we're going to be talking about women and their fears. Spread the word, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for coming. It was a nice time seeing everybody here today. Bye bye.